Okay, this is practice test 18A, number 1. Graph the periodic function, determine the domain and range, identify the period and the amplitude. So it's asking me to do a lot of different things. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So just remember, don't let me forget. So this number right here is a vertical shift. So that means, I usually just like to draw a dotted line. So I'm using my parent function as a model, and I'm just going to make a tiny parent function right up here, so you, just to remind you guys what a parent function of cosine looks like. Parent function of cosine, it kind of, it has a max right here at 1 usually, and then the min is at -1, and its period is 2 pi. This is actually question number 1 on your practice test if you're interested. Oh, you got that one. So this number right here gives you the amplitude. So instead of going up by 1 like the parent function does, it's going to go up 6. And so this 2 lifted it. Oh, why did I do that? I need to erase this. It got lifted up by 2. Why did I even write that? Why didn't you tell me? It's all your fault. When I mess up, it's always all your fault. Whoever's there, right? Okay, now I'm going to go up by 6 and down by 6 because that's the amplitude. Now this is weird because they're counting by 2s. So I guess I just have to be very careful and go 2, 4, 6. So if I go up by 6, I land on the 4. So that's going to be my first point. That's this point. It's just, instead of at 1, it's at 8, and then I'm going to go, now my lowest, my end point, the period is 2 pi. From the beginning point to the last point in one cycle is 2 pi. So that means the other point's going to be right, I'm just trying to make it right above 2 pi. And then the low point is going to be down by 6 from the midpoint, so, or from the midline. So 2, 4, 6, I guess it's at -4, and then, you know, in between there's going to be some points also, and it's going to be curvy, so try to give it a decent looking curve. I guess it'll kind of curve along. I think that's good enough. And now that's just the graph though.
I got -12.69 again when I did the thin thing on mine.
Oh, okay. You might be in radian mode, or I might have done it wrong. I'll be over there.
I haven't done anything to this, so just in normal calculator mode.
Okay, I'll come check that. Okay, so I graphed it, and now I have to determine the domain and the range. So the domain is the x numbers. So I hope that you guys know that these go on forever and ever and ever. They just wave on like a wave forever. So the domain is actually going to be all real numbers. But what's the range going to be? The range only goes down from -4 to +8 if you look on the y-axis. So I can say x is in between, sorry, y, it's a range. I'm making all kinds of mistakes. It's in between -4 and +8. That's the range. Can't even read that. Y is in between -4. You still can't read it. Sorry, just listen. Y is in between -4 and +8. What else? Identify the period. Period is 2 pi because the number that tells you the period is right in there, but you don't have a number there, so that means the number that's there is 1, and 2 pi divided by 1 is just 2 pi. So that's why there hasn't been a change, and there hasn't been a phase shift. It hasn't been scooted to the right or the left. So the period's 2 pi. There's the domain. Here's the range. Identify the period, the amplitude. The amplitude is 6, right? So 6. And that's all for number 1.